guys, welcome to the Bachelor Experts of the Upper East Side. You might notice that this is not Ross. In fact, we have a Bachelor expert from Murray Hill today. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Jenny, and I could not be more thrilled to be making my podcast debut on the Bachelor Experts of the Upper East Side. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here.
Well, we are so excited to have you. We're going to, have Ross still just adding his comments here and there, hopefully, from afar. But, we're really excited to have Jenny here. Her fiance is also away this week, as is Ross, so we're keeping each other company, discussing our incompetence without our significant others.
Yes. And Brandon could not be more thrilled to be traveling while I'm watching The Bachelor, since it's his least favorite thing on television.
That's what he says, but we know otherwise.
Otherwise, he would have been here also guest hosting.
On the couch. It would have been 4 wide. So, Jenny, do you want to start us off with what we have in the world of Bachelor news today?
Yes. So I guess outside of, Colton seasons, we have some really exciting updates this week. As many of you probably know, Becca the nanny from Ari's, that was her job. Becca the nanny from Ari's season
I had no idea.
Gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Ruthie Ray, as you can see over there.
Ruthie Ray, Dela, Luz, Leonard, something.
It has far too many names.
Way
so
too
you can't keep track. But very exciting she gave birth, since it's based on Instagram. It felt like she was pregnant for approximately 17 months.
That's so true.
So congratulations on having a happy and healthy baby girl. Now she can go back to, rock climbing or bouldering.
Or nannying her own child.
Her own child, whatever it is.
Do you think she'll hire a nanny for her child?
No, because no.
She's an expert.
No, she's an expert.
That's
she's a nanny.
true.
That's
How
her
could
job.
you?
And yeah, she's
Good
a nanny
for her.
/ rock climber.
I love when my nannies rock climb. It feels very safe. And then second, we have Ashley I and Jared, who I still feel very meh about.
This is such breaking news to me. I just don't know when, where, or why they decided to write a children's book.
Yes, it is called Lucy and Clark. It is a story about puppy love. I don't know if they're teaching Bachelor principles to young children.
Oh, I should hope not.
Maybe Chris Harrison is trying to keep the next generation interested in the show, starting with this children's book.
Yeah, I guess. To be honest, it's something I will definitely be buying for my future child.
I feel like they should probably have a child before they write a children's book. Because they are children.
I totally agree with you, Sarah.
Maybe that's what gives them
what gives them the, sort of expertise to be able
true.
to write this book about dogs and love. So, to be honest, other than that, I have literally zero opinions on them as a couple. It was actually before I started watching the show. But I did
really?
Yes.
Interesting.
But I did see the big proposal on Bachelor in Paradise this summer, and, that was very exciting.
Let me tell you, every girl was interested in Jared, and I hate to be mean, I just did not get why.
He's kind of, skeezy looking.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look like a good guy.
Right. And then, but he, acts like a good guy. Whatever. Apparently, he's now a good guy.
I don't know.
We'll find
I feel like her and Colton could have been well matched because of the whole, virgin thing.
Talking excessively about the virginity.
But I guess that ship has sailed for
didn't even think of that.
one of them, possibly two, depending on how the fantasy suites kind of.
So let's start off with our recap.
Yes.
So this week we start with the rose ceremony.
It was a cliffhanger.
Oh yes. I was really I was so sad that they left us off there.
I hate when they don't do a rose ceremony
Me
at the end
too.
of every episode because I just want to know what happens.
Yes. And do you remember one season 2 years ago where every
week, episode?
Oh, that was ridiculous.
I don't even remember. It was maybe JoJo's season.
I feel like it was Rachel's season or something.
No, you're right. It was Rachel's. I knew it was The Bachelorette.
Yeah. It was ridiculous, but
it's so annoying.
So okay, just one so far this season, so we can get over
roll
with
that
for now.
Yeah.
So well, we can go through who gets home in a minute, but who goes home. But then next we have a one-on-one date with Hannah G.
Which was, if you're Hannah G's father, that was I would say that would be rough to watch.
Yeah,
it was intimate.
Very.
In
many different places.
Yes. I mean...
The spa, the water, the shower.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, when I saw them going to a Vietnamese spa, I was like, this is not... this is not gonna go well. I like that every date this season is either, complete relaxation or girls just, physically beating each other up. There's no in between on any date. It's the one-on-ones are all these relaxing, sitting on a beach getting a massage, and then the group dates are just girls physically pitted against each other.
I think it's like, wow, you made it through the beating up of last week. You made it to the relaxing one-on-one date.
But I feel like they used to, when these group dates, when they would do these competitions, used to, like, get a reward. Like, more time. And now it's just like, okay, like, you didn't get a black eye.
Well, yeah, even when they were doing those, the first one, the camp games or whatever, the reward was like, you get to sleep over in this cabin, but Colton wasn't there. They didn't spend any additional time with Colton.
I think they just, like, got more time.
Oh, yeah.
As a group with him, but it used to be, like, the individual girl, like, used to, like, get more time with him during, like, the nighttime date or whatever. Yeah. And now it's just like, sorry, you're, like, beating each other up.
You didn't die. Congratulations.
Which I thought Alabama Hannah completely thrived at.
Which I totally see. And her eyes are just crazy.
Which I don't know. To me, that kind of makes sense. Like, she looks like she's somebody, and she says she does a lot of kickboxing, so I guess it makes sense.
Total sense.
Also really shocked that Demi did not thrive.
Yes.
I guess she fights with her words, as she says, and not with her fists.
I mean, what if someone came at her? Like, wasn't she starting stuff with Anyeka one week? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, and Anyeka probably would have killed her.
Right, but then, like, Demi should be able to back it up with some fighting.
With some fighting, and it was disappointing.
It was.
It was disappointing.
I was sad. I expected more from her. Come on, Demi.
Wow. Great point, babe.
And then one-on-one with Kirpa, that was shocking.
Really came out of left field. If you had asked me if Kirpa was still on the show, I probably would have said no. And I love that they never on the show explained why she had that cut on her chin from last week. And obviously the internet really filled us in on that.
Thank gosh for the internet. What did people do before the internet?
Yeah, because it was just so weird that nobody addressed the fact that she just fell while taking a selfie. She also had, like, she also sprained her wrist, and they just, like, didn't address it.
Right, but she seemed to have healed up before the date, luckily.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, maybe they were like, if we give you a one-on-one, will you not sue?
Yeah, that actually sounds right for The Bachelor. But that date, to be honest, I thought that one-on-one date was really going to go to Demi, because up until this point, the only interaction that Kirpa and Colton had was her flossing his teeth at one point.
I don't even remember that.
It was during one of, like, the nighttime activities after the first date, and as far as I'm concerned, that was their only interaction.
Wow. We know. That's, like, intimate. That makes sense.
She's giving him a free teeth cleaning, and now she gets a one-on-one date.
Is she a dental hygienist?
I would hope so. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it is The Bachelor.
That's what they're all dental hygienists. So, but I mean, good for her. She has a real job.
That's true.
But I think the most shocking part of this episode was finding out that she was previously engaged.
Yes, I did not see that coming.
No, because I feel like with Tayshia a couple weeks ago, I knew for whatever reason that she had been previously married and divorced. Okay. I'm not sure how. But
just came and I'm also
but I'm just shocked that like she wasn't one of those girls running around that's like, I have a secret, because they love having secrets.
It's so true. And they've kept her on this long, so you think that one of those reasons would be because she had this secret.
And that is a really interesting fact about her, especially because her fiance was saving himself for marriage.
Right. Which also, did you see when she said that? And Colton was like, wait.
Colton's like, no. Colton's like, just to clarify, I'm waiting for the right person. And Kirpa's just sitting there like, okay.
AKA the right person, meaning Fantasy Suite weeks. And he's like, okay, I need to know if you are also doing that, because I'm not keeping you around for Fantasy Suite if you're
and there's literally... money's on the fact that she will not be here next week.
Yeah, I don't think so.
She's just...
We determined he needs to send three girls home next week.
Based on my mathematical calculations, if we're going to hometowns in 2 weeks, he needs to kick off 3 next week to get to the 4 for hometowns.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, back 1 second to Hannah G's one-on-one. No, like, because whatever, I forgot. But that whole, like, sad story. Okay, I'm not putting it in quotes.
I forgot about that. I need to talk about that story.
Yes, go ahead.
Obviously, divorce, very sad, especially any age, very sad, very traumatic. I need to know more about her mother driving a lawnmower driving her car across the father's perfectly manicured lawn. I'm far more interested in that than anything that's happened on the show.
I so agree. I had such a vivid picture of that happening.
Yeah, I was like, and then what's shocking to me about Colton, and again, like, I know Colton's parents are divorced, but he has this amazing ability for whenever any of the girls decides to, like, open up, walls down, be vulnerable, whatever, to be like, oh, the same things happened to me.
Yes, he totally does. Like, with Caitlin's whole story, he's like, yeah, I mean, like, I totally get it, 'cause I'm a virgin. Yeah. Like, you were sexually assaulted. Yeah, I'm a virgin.
He's like, people judge me too, and then, like, brings up, like, an ex-girlfriend of his, and I'm like, that's so inappropriate.
It's so not.
And also, like, and he forces them to open up and is like, well, let me tell you about why my life is worse.
Yes. But also, I don't know, the way Hannah G was just describing it, it was like, well, I just hate that I feel like they think that they have to have the sob story.
Well, they do. He literally kicked that girl off for not having a sob story. He was like, your life's not sad enough.
Like, God forbid anyone would be like, I'm really happy, like, I've had hard times, but I'm like, I'm pretty happy.
I mean, and he was like, gotta go.
Bye.
The black car's waiting.
It's out there for you.
What was hilarious to me about that, too, was that Hannah G, I forget exactly what she said, but she basically was like, opening up's not my jam.
Oh, yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's not my jam. It's not my thing. And then she said something else like, yeah, it sounds kind of lame, but my mom drove a car across the lawn.
That's hilarious.
I was like, that is not lame. Tell us more.
I was like, again, far more interested in that. It just, I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, Hannah G, definitely one of the front runners. He likes the tiny blondes.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like he has, like, physical chemistry with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But all the conversations on every date are just like, wow, this is beautiful.
So true. He hasn't connected, like, beyond that with one person yet.
No. And there are some seasons where it's, like, so obvious.
Yeah.
And this one, he really just wants to get married for whatever reason.
Just to get married.
I think, honestly, just to get married or to get those Instagram sponsorships.
Probably that.
But for me, the best part of Hannah G's date was not the actual date, but what we were talking about before, which is what Kaylin said about Hannah G.
Right. She was saying, I think she relies on her beauty too much.
Which is, as a beauty queen that Kaylin is.
Yes.
You cannot judge people for relying on your beauty when that literally is your one job and what your job description is on your Chiron.
Right.
I was saying this with somebody I work with today, this is the episode where girls start to lose their minds.
Interesting.
You're coming the group's suddenly a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, all of a sudden it's so tiny.
It's very clear who Colton has connections with, quote unquote connections. And then some of the girls who just, haven't gotten a lot of screen time they really have to they're freaking out and realizing that there's just no way they're going to win and they have to do something dramatic so they get on Paradise.
That's true. Oh, true.
Because that's really
I can't wait for Paradise.
That's my favorite part. Paradise is my favorite part of this franchise.
Good.
It's a complete free-for-all and it's all your favorites.
So in our first rose ceremony, we have, all of our lovely girls and they are dropping like flies.
Sadly, a lot of them are no more.
Are gone. And specifically this week, in the first half of the episode, we lost Onyeka and Nicole.
Which I can't say I'm upset about.
No.
Because in my opinion, neither of them brought anything to the table. And as much as Onyeka would like to pretend she's not a bully, she literally bullied all the other girls into saying that she wasn't a bully.
I will say, she did a great job of hiding the fact that she was bullied until this episode.
Yeah, and when it really just came out in flying colors.
Yes.
And to be honest, I felt bad for Nicole, kind of.
I guess. She seems so dramatic. Also cracked me up when they said she cries at everything. And
well,
then
did you see her face during she literally had like a pouty lip out.
And she said that when she was like, goodbye. She's like, bye, Colton.
Yeah,
I was like, yikes.
Yeah, yikes. It was not great, but like I've never seen a girl like react so viscerally during a rose ceremony like that.
It's true. And I mean, you just have to know your place in the group. Like if you are not amongst the top, which I would...
Neither of them were.
Yeah, neither of them. Onyeka was closer to the top than Nicole was, I would say. But, like, just know that if you're not the top contender, you cannot get away with that kind of drama.
You can't. Like, Alabama Hannah, and Kaylin could because they were always in the top.
Right, exactly.
But to be honest, like, Colton doesn't care about Onyeka or Nicole, so the second they start drama, he was like, you're out.
Colton has had a lot of girl drama to deal with this season.
And to be honest, sometimes I feel like the girls sometimes can be less dramatic than the guys on The Bachelor.
True.
Like, the guys, like, are low-key so dramatic, but I feel like there's been a lot of cattiness on this season.
I think it stems from the fact that more girls are here for the right reason this season.
Or the wrong reason.
True.
We're not so
That's
sure.
A good point. So it's a fine line.
Yeah.
But I think that more girls are actually maybe interested in Colton and are like getting catty.
To be honest, though, if I were one of these girls, I would have been really disappointed because I had actually really wanted Jason to be the Bachelor.
So did Ross. Right, Ross?
Let me think about that.
Somewhere in San Francisco, he's nodding his
This
head.
week we said goodbye to Sydney, the girl that I met in the Uber pool.
Which
It's really
is
heartbreaking.
Bananas. It's like meeting a celebrity.
It really was. I hear she left in an Uber pool.
In Vietnam,
In Vietnam.
all the way back to LA.
Yeah, exactly. Or New York, actually. But, okay. It seemed to me like she really had never seen the show before.
Well, there is always that girl every season. Actually, we had two of them this season, Elise and Sydney. It's the girl that doesn't understand that they can't be with Colton 24 hours a day because it's a competition.
Like, I totally get that it's probably very weird, but you have to know, or at least, like, look into what you're signing up for. Like, if you don't get the one-on-one date, she's not the only one who didn't get it. Yeah. Like, Demi didn't get it, and I thought Demi would have gotten one, like, way
100%,
before.
100%.
Yeah. I guess, to be fair, they don't know who's being featured in the show.
That is true.
So maybe they think, like, oh, I'm a front runner or something.
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking about last night. Like, I'd be very curious with somebody like Sydney, who to me was not a front runner at all, and to be honest, was surprised she was still on it. What her conversations with Colton were like, because again, she wasn't a front runner, so we don't really see like the conversations like he has with like Alabama Hannah or Kaylin.
Conversations,
or like they just get a lot more airtime.
Yeah,
it's like very clear that they're the front runners, but somebody like Sydney, you kind of every time she got a rose, I was like, oh,
she's
you're
here.
Still on. That's cool.
Well, she would always do a lot of like prop things. Like she had the first night she had the string quartet or whatever. Yes. Then she had another thing. Like she was always pulling out like tricks out of her bag.
She was trying to keep him interested.
And it worked for a while.
Until it very quickly did not.
But I will say, I guess, good for her for having self-awareness, for realizing that their relationship. Because at first I thought she was doing like the same. Or at first I thought she was going to Colton to be like reassurance, and I was like, stop.
Yeah.
But at least she had her mind made up that she was going to leave.
Yeah.
So at least she's
smart.
Yeah. At least like I don't know. I also would rather go home on my own terms rather than like be sent home or like
because she would have been sent home this episode. I think. So I'm personally really devastated over this goodbye. I'm actually in a Bachelor fantasy league, and Demi was really one of the key players on my team and giving me a lot of points on a week-by-week basis. This really hurts. But also, I just really enjoyed Demi's presence on the show.
So
she just didn't care what anyone thought of her, and I mean, she was immature and crazy and was obviously never going to win, but she was fun to watch and entertaining.
Yes.
And
her comments started, like, at first I didn't like her, but then her comments really started to be the highlight of the show for me.
And to be honest, I don't know if when Colton decided to send her home, if those were real tears or what, but part of me actually really felt badly for her.
Yes, I did too. I really felt bad for her. Like, I think she was really sad, and I guess we didn't see that she was actually, like, really liked Colton. Yeah. I believed it at the end.
I don't know. I feel like the first couple episodes when they were still in LA, the whole thing kind of seemed like she was just trying to get Instagram followers, but she kept really, this sounds so stupid, really opening up to him and letting her walls down, and it kind of seemed like she was actually genuinely, like, pretty into him, and so when she went to go tell him that she was falling in love with him, and he just goes, no. That was really, really sad. But for me, the saddest part is that we won't get to meet her recently released ex-convict mother, which, to be honest, that is a story I'm also far more interested about.
Oh, I know. Can we bring her back, like, with her mom, maybe on Bachelor in Paradise?
Or maybe on Women Tell All.
That would be good.
Because I'm much more interested in why Demi's mom went to prison. All we know, yes, but I need to know what she embezzled, how much she embezzled.
We need the deeds.
But to be honest, I think part of the reason she went home was the fact that she made Colton speak to her mother on the phone. And she was like, I haven't spoken to my mom on the phone since she left prison. Like, want to talk to her?
It was so uncomfortable.
And that's not really great for like a third date conversation.
Right. Especially when for the first 2 dates, they spent talking also about her mom being in jail.
She may have just had too much baggage for poor little Colton to handle.
Second rose ceremony. We had already said goodbye to 2 girls, Sydney and Demi. But sadly, we said goodbye to Katie here, which I didn't even think, he didn't even need to send someone home, I thought. Because, like, how many does he usually send home? I thought he would have only sent home 2 girls anyway.
I get it. Well, 2 of the girls were kind of, like, bonus leaving.
That's true.
Sydney sent herself home, and Demi, I guess he was planning on sending Demi home at the rose ceremony. To be honest, I was really hoping that Heather would be sent home, because she's been kissed. We can now move on with our lives.
True. Although I really like looking at her tall, skinny, blonde, long hair.
She is very beautiful, but there's really nothing there. Now that she's no longer never been kissed.
Has been kissed.
I'm over it. And I think I don't know. And to be honest, Katie was another one that I forgot was on the show. But she's really pretty and seemed really nice and genuine. And
he reassured her earlier in the episode.
He kind of pulled a bait and switch on her a little bit, which I did feel bad about.
Yeah. You know what I'm really lacking in this season is the rose ceremonies where you get, like, where you're actually shocked by who gets sent home. Like, I wish that he didn't send Demi home at that point.
That would have been a much better rose ceremony.
So we would be like, how, you know? Yeah. And then, as Katie is leaving, we get our third warning. Someone's not ready for marriage.
So Sydney warns him, Demi warns him, and Katie warns him and Elise, yes.
Via Anika.
Yes, via third party, that there's somebody in the mix that isn't there for the right reasons, but for whatever reason, they're not at liberty to say who it is, so Colton has to figure it out himself.
Yeah, like a murder mystery. And like, why?
He's apparently not doing a very good job at it either.
Why wouldn't he just be like, hey, wait, Katie, before you go, would you mind telling me who it is?
Well, he also tried to, like, help her into the car, and she was like, no thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
I don't think she was going to say anything.
Oh, but speaking of, like, goodbyes also, Demi's goodbye speech was my favorite because I hate when they all give these politically correct goodbyes. Like, I hope you follow your heart. I understand you have to follow your heart. I hope you find happiness. She goes, just so you know, you're going to end up not happy.
Yes. And to be honest, given the Bachelor's track record, probably.
She's just speaking from, like, facts.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have been happy with her either, but...
True. And, like, I don't know, if I was being broken up with, that's what I would say.
That's what I would say, too.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, too.
I'm not saying, Ross, I hope you go follow your heart.
Yeah, Brandon.
Unless it's back to me. Same goes for you, Brandon. For our power rankings this week, we start off the same. We have Hannah G as number 1 for both of us, but I think Tayshia has moved up here. She seems to be in the right place at the right time always. And I think that Colton is, maybe very interested.
So Tayshia has been on my fantasy team since the beginning, but to be honest, to me, she's not really a front runner. I think the fact that she has some interesting baggage, she's been married before, I think that's kind of, helped her come this far, and she also is a little bit more mature than the other ladies.
Oh, definitely. Do we know how old she is? Is she older?
Not necessarily age-wise, I think just... They're all, like, 23.
Yeah, so. True. There's nobody left over the age of, like, 27 at this point.
So, she just seems a little more mature, but Colton's type is beauty queen and blonde, so...
True. From California,
so that's why she's kind of towards the bottom for me. But, again, I think she would be a good winner, but I just don't see it.
Maybe next Bachelorette?
Maybe next Bachelorette.
She's a real job, too. She's a phlebotomist.
She's real job. Yeah. Real job is always a plus.
It is, but also makes it harder for you to be the Bachelorette.
Yes.
So then you have Kaylin as number 2.
I mean, to be honest, for me, between Kaylin and Hannah G, it could really go either way. I just really think one of them's going to win. I think the person who always has the first impression rose usually always has a leg up in every season. They're always in, like, the top 3 or the top 4.
Which makes sense, because if you have 30 girls, like, who is your first impression go to? That's, like, that means a lot when they're, you know, need guidance.
And, you know, their date physically seemed to go really well.
Yep.
This week. So
it was uncomfy to watch, but good for them.
And Kaylin, he just, you know, always pays a lot of attention too.
True.
Yeah.
So I have Hannah B as 3rd. It's honestly hard to choose who's, like, between the top 5, because they seem to, like, a lot of them have a good physical connection, but a lot of them don't have, like, they don't talk. I don't know. Nobody's standing out at this point for me.
No. For me, I think it's really a toss-up between Hannah G, Kaylin, and Cassie.
Yeah. I agree.
Cassie's kind of like Becca in a way for me. Like, she's quiet.
Which Becca? There's been so many Beccas.
Becca K.
Oh.
She's, like, a little quiet. You kind of forget about her, and then all of a sudden she's, like, getting proposed to.
True.
But hopefully he doesn't change his mind.
Right. Yes, that would be ideal. For her especially.
Yeah.
So then you have Hannah and Tayshia, and I have Kaylin, and we learned some new information just earlier tonight, actually.
Breaking news.
The breaking news that Colton spent 1 full day filming shower scenes.
I mean, this was a literal note that I wrote down last night when watching. When Colton comes out of the water, Vietnam, he'd just gone on a run. I literally was like, I said to myself, is it in his contract that he has to be submerged in some kind of water?
It seems
in every episode. He spends most of his time showering.
Yeah, and we have to pretend like he has this incredible, like, body like we've never seen before.
Yeah, and, like, we've seen it every episode.
Yeah.
Right. And Colton was way too shirtless this episode.
Yeah. And I say this all the time, but they would never do this on The Bachelorette. Can you imagine if they had the girls showering for a day?
Or, like, just like swimming.
Coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, no. And it's just like, I don't know why Chris Harrison thinks I need to see this all the time.
Well, Chris Harrison's really taken what he can get at this point.
I love Chris Harrison.
True. But yeah, so take a drink when Colton is shown showering.
And you may need a whole bottle.
Yeah. Get your glasses ready, your bottle ready for refill. Because he's going to be doing it a lot. And I don't know, I guess they're not concerned about, you know, they're in these, like, third world countries sometimes where they don't necessarily even have water readily available.
Yeah, I mean,
but Colton's just showering away.
Is using all of the water in Vietnam.
He used Vietnam's entire water supply
to take a gratuitous shower.
All right, so that was our show this week. Jenny, thank you so much
for having me. This was a complete blast.
I'm so glad. It was so fun having you.
And I finally have somebody to share all my opinions with, because Brandon, sadly, does not care.
You know, you get to not only share it with me, but with the up to 200 people who have watched our podcast.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
That's impressive, to be honest.
Thank you.
It's a saturated market.
So we're trying to get... Okay, you're just discouraging me now.
That's impressive.
We're trying to get to 300 views, people. So please watch and share with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are the Bachelor Experts of the Upper East Side with our guest, Jenny.